In 1994, a man quit his cushy Wall Street job, packed his wife into a car, and drove cross-country to sell books out of a garage. His wife drove. He sat in the passenger seat, writing a business plan on a legal pad. Most people who heard this story thought he was having a mental breakdown. 30 years later, that man controls a $2 trillion empire, owns a rocket company, the Washington Post, a private intelligence network disguised as a shipping service, and he still somehow makes you feel like you're the one getting a good deal. This is not a success story. This is a masterclass in how power actually works. How does a bookstore become the infrastructure of the entire internet? Because that's what Amazon is now. Not a store, not a tech company. Infrastructure. The kind of thing that, if it disappeared tomorrow, half the internet would go dark, millions of businesses would collapse, and your Prime package of protein powder and fuzzy socks would never arrive. Bezos had one idea that changed everything. He called it the flywheel. Lower prices bring more customers. More customers attract more sellers. More competition drives prices lower. The wheel spins, and spins, and spins. You don't need to make a profit. You just need to keep the wheel spinning. Wall Street said, "This company never makes money. Sell it." Bezos said, "Exactly." For almost 20 years, Amazon made almost no profit. On purpose. Every dollar went back in. Investors begged for returns. Bezos sent them letters explaining why profits were for people who lack imagination. And then, in 2006, he did something nobody saw coming. He looked at the expensive computing infrastructure Amazon had built for itself and realized other companies needed the same thing and had no idea how to build it. So he just rented it to them. Amazon Web Services, AWS. Today, AWS generates about 70% of Amazon's total operating profit. The company you think of as the place you bought your air fryer is, in reality, mostly a cloud computing business that happens to also sell air fryers. Netflix runs on AWS. Airbnb runs on AWS. The CIA runs on AWS. Your government's most classified intelligence infrastructure runs on servers owned by the same man who delivers your toilet paper in 2 days. Now here's where it gets psychologically interesting. Think about what Amazon Prime actually is. You pay $139 a year, up front, for the privilege of spending more money. And you do it happily, because once you've paid, every purchase feels free. Your brain has already absorbed the cost. The psychological term for this is sunk cost bias, and Amazon weaponized it at civilizational scale. Prime members spend on average twice as much as non-Prime members. But it goes deeper. Amazon's entire system is built around one core human vulnerability: impatience. 2-day shipping felt like magic in 2005. Now, same-day delivery feels like a basic human right. Amazon didn't just meet expectations, it reset them. And once your expectations are reset, every other retailer looks broken by comparison. You didn't choose Amazon because it's the best option. You chose it because Amazon redefined what good enough means. That's not marketing, that's architecture. Here's the twist nobody talks about. In 2021, Bezos stepped down as Amazon's CEO. Most people saw that as retirement. It wasn't. It was graduation. Blue Origin, his space company, isn't about rockets. It's about becoming the landlord of low Earth orbit. His long-term vision is to move heavy industry off the planet, move factories to space, keep Earth residential, and charge everyone rent to use the infrastructure he builds to get there. Jeff Bezos doesn't want to be the richest man on Earth. He wants to be the landlord of the solar system. Amazon made itself infrastructure for commerce. AWS made itself infrastructure for the internet. Now Bezos is trying to make himself infrastructure for civilization. Every time he wins, it's because he stopped competing and started becoming essential. And here's the uncomfortable truth that applies to all of us. We spend our lives trying to be better competitors, better workers, better investors. But the people who actually win? They stop competing and start building the game board. The question isn't, how do I win the game? The question is, how do I become something the game can't function without? That's the ugly truth about Jeff Bezos. Not a genius who got lucky, a man who understood power more clearly than almost anyone alive, and was willing to be misunderstood for decades while he built it. Hit subscribe.